All right, so back to this. Just making sure the sound's going all right, to which it is. So seemingly no issue there. But yeah, I guess besides that, again, you made it through the previous parts, plural. I guess the most previous one I upload was the third side story. And again, it seemingly I guess regarding that, it's seemingly coming along nicely in terms of getting one side story done per part if I don't take forever. So I think it was 1 hour for the second side story and an hour 10 for the third, but I was talking more during the third one. So that makes sense. But again, still on a good pace regarding that. Again, going along with that, since in the previous part, that was the third side story, right? Okay, that was a bit loud. But following from that, right? Ultimately, the third side story has, I guess, the main kind of takeaway from the previous part. Like, again, besides doing the third side story, also with the third side story ending, like the first three, obviously they were about those specific character interactions, right? That we see on the side story screen, but from a more general but from a more general, like broad, like sort of taking a step back kind of view, is really about how each of them joined the club and like how ultimately it formed, like basically the formation of the club and how it came to be as we know it in Act One as we joined for the original game. And then again, all the random like meta stuff going on with like the simulation, like control group, fucking non-control, the VM whatevers, the Monica's like elevated permission status. So whatever's going on with that, I don't really care about that, right? I would need to like dig around. I would actually need to go through these files, go through all of these, which I still haven't done yet. I only found what was backup on test. Oh yeah. Or we saw this, right? Along with meeting notes. So yeah, and then VM2, but the VMs aren't the control group. So yeah, and again, besides, I ignore that. But again, besides that, right, again, nothing really else to say. I guess it'll just be interesting to see because the first three were like from a more general, like broad standpoint, right, about the formation, creation of the club, and how it came to be, as we know it in Act One. It'll be interesting to see what these next three side stories are about as a result. So yeah, I guess, and this next one's about a Sayori Natsuki. That's going to be an interesting one. Maybe it, and again, I can see it taking place immediately after the previous one. I can see it being like at some random point in time. It can be either, but I guess we won't know until we get in it. So let's do that. Let's see. Yeah, loading, and we're at the closet. Okay, you see, Yori's screaming. The music just caught me off guard. The music always catches me off guard. So, but again, I'm still glad they made custom music. Just wish they had more custom backgrounds, though. We obviously get the one CG per part, but again, still wish they had more custom, at least custom backgrounds, right? I'd say I was complaining about a lack of custom CGs, it only being one per part, but honestly, they're good CGs, so I think I'm kind of satisfied with that. But again, I do wish there were more custom backgrounds though. But other than that, and the narration, but that can be coughed up to like the whole simulation thing. So then maybe that's intentional. So you can't really like degrade that aspect of it. So while Natsuki's messing with the orientation of her manga in the closet shelf, Sayori approaches from behind, pulls her in an embrace. Didn't she literally talk? Or no, that was Yuri. What? Hi. Hello. The lyrical has been full swing since Natsuki joined, so it is still going chronologically in like timeline order, including her. The club is now comprised of 4 members. Damn, I wonder who they are. Please to God, don't list them out. Oh my God. It's like, damn, I couldn't have guessed that. Each club member had received a day in the spotlight, share all of their favorite kinds of literature with each other, which again, that was Sayori's idea, which Monica opposed, but Natsuki kind of capitalized on, or I guess she was the one who like kind of what was it? She was the one who really like sort of bought in, or she was like the driving force behind that. Natsuki was first and shared her passion for manga, and then Sayori shared love poetry as well as how she goes about writing herself. And this is probably where they got the idea for the poem sharing coming from Sayori's presentation. Monica, who had multiple literacy interests, decided to focus her day on short stories, okay, or literary, not literacy. Finally, your managed to demonstrate her obsession with fantasy with little help and encouragement from Sayori. Again, so like rather than just her and Sayori, it's again her and the club. So it's slightly different. to the weakest span their presentations. Manga decided to give the club members this next week to freely explore each other's literary interests. So it's like, so they're reading each other's books, basically. So I haven't spent most of her time in the club so far with years fantasy books. Is rather excited to begin her journey into Natsuki's manga collection, right? Just like kind of similar with Monica, right? She just picked out a random one, started reading. It's like, damn, this shit ain't that bad. It'll be the same thing. And presumably the issue, and again, it is also interesting. No, the one I'm still looking most forward to is what would you call it? The one I'm still looking most forward to is Yuri and Natsuki. So that'll be interesting. But I want to read with you today. Tell me which one you should pick. Pick a random one. Oh, well, that depends on the kind of stuff you like. I mean, there's like romance, drama, comedy, mystery. I like all of those things. Damn, that's not helpful. So reaches down, pulls out a random book from the shelf and expects the cover. Shouldn't this girl be wearing more clothes? I don't know. What kind of manga is it? You wouldn't like that one. So don't worry about that one. Let's put that one away before you discover something you don't want to. And Panic Natsuki snatched the book from Sayori's hand there and placed it on the shelf in a less conspicuous location. And again, that's something where it's like, don't ask questions that you aren't ready for the answers, in which you aren't ready for the answers. Okay, well, if you really have no preference, then let's just start something that's easy again, too. A lot of these don't start to get really good until about a few volumes in. I wouldn't really ask them to make that kind of commitment unless they are really into manga. No, I want to see the one you put away. I want to see that one. I could handle it. I did with Yuri's book, at least. How many chapters did she actually finish? Like, damn, like I guarantee it's 1,000-pager. Well, I'm more considerate than that. Although I'm kind of impressed by your attention span if you put that much effort doing books. And again, this goes to show the judgmental nature, right? Again, that's just, again, the personality clash, like there, because like, again, obviously like that's like a surface level issue, but it's more deeply rooted. And again, between Yuri and Natsuki's personalities and between Yuri and Monica, sort of, again, their visions for the club, like basically like the integrity of the club, right? Intent, right? So, but again, right, this is more of a personality like clash. No, I have the attention span of a donut. What does that even mean? Like if someone's like, clearly they mean short, but like what kind of word choice is that? I have the attention span of a fucking, I don't know, laptop, but I love my friends and I can do anything if it's for them. Well, okay, then let's pick something that even donuts can read. I didn't say I was doing, I just said I had the attention span of one. I don't even know what that means. You were just trying to call me sweet. You're so cute. I mean, literally fucking, that's how you spin the fucking insults into compliments. Right? No, how'd you get to that conclusion? Because donuts are sweet. It's not that hard of a conclusion to draw. Don't call me that. A donut? She didn't even call you a donut. Like you didn't even call her a donut. But obviously this, because again, it was the same fucking it was the same thing. Sayori had the exact same conversation in the previous part with Natsuki regarding her manga. She called that cute, and then Natsuki put up a fit about it, right? So it's the same situation here, right? Or the same applies to calling Natsuki yourself that. I just don't like it. I don't need a reason. It's like, do you like to be called loser? Natsuki yanks a book from a shelf and closes the closet doors. Someone asks you to stop, then you just need to stop. People need to realize that. I mean, but here again, this goes into like the whole issue of Natsuki really bringing it upon herself. Like that's kind of the issue here, right? Like if you if you give them that attention, it's like the age old thing, right? Because people obviously just say, because it is kind of like weird. Because obviously, if you're like Natsuki and you just react to every single little thing, right? Like again, you're just giving them attention, but you also don't want to just like ignore it, right? Because like people just say like, oh, ignore it. That's not really helpful. It's something where like obviously you're not just going to sit there and not say it, because it's the same thing. If you like react to every single little thing and then you completely ignore it, right? Those will both lead to the same outcome, right? They're going to bother you even more, right? Like that's a little known fact. Like the people who just say ignore it are wrong, just as the people who say like, who go like this, who say this are wrong as well. Like people will literally just say like ignore anything as if you can ignore it. It's something where you need to like passively go along, right? It's something where you need to like rather than just outright ignore it, because that's still showing that it's having an impact on you. You need to show that what they're doing has like no impact on you, right? So rather than just like ignore it, if they're like insulting you, you'd be like, oh yeah, I did actually plan on going to the anime club. I was gonna check it out, right? Like in a joking manner, be like, oh yeah, I'm making strides. I'm only making one more smutty fanfic, right? Like that's my last one. I'll make sure to put you guys in it, like as like a joke. Like you need to show that they don't really have an impact to you. They don't care about them. It's not some, because if you completely ignore it, you're showing the opposite. You're showing that you do, and you're actively trying to ignore them. as opposed to just kind of passively going along. But it's the same thing for this. If you react to everything they say, and like, again, shoot, am I recording? Okay, I am. If you react to every little thing they say, right, you show your insecurities, your coping defense mechanisms, right, then it's going to be the exact same outcome, right? It's something where like, because this implies a serious matter, right? Because like, obviously, if it's a serious matter, right, like regarding telling people to stop, if it's stopping regarding something serious, so let's say, hypothetically speaking, like someone's assaulting like a dead relative or something. I think that's just the example that comes up, because it's something where you always see the memes where it's like, if you're arguing with someone online and they have a dead relative in their bio and that's exactly what you go for, that's something where like, if that was happening in real life, like, okay, yeah, that like you can legit tell someone, hey, don't talk about them like that, like stop, like they're like, you don't like that would be a legit reason to. But just for like people name calling, like even if it's like even if it's something worse, like assume something worse, like I just said, like loser, right? You're gonna be like, oh damn, the only thing I lose is my virginity. You're like, so no, because that's usually the opposite of what people say. Like, I only win, so I never lose, so I never like that's like a whole complete different like topic regarding like self, what would you call it, self degradation. But again, it's something to where like, like you'd still go along with it. But and like, so something as small as this, because like here's the thing, like it's like this is fucking like they're in high school, right? None of this shit's serious, or at least like this stuff is, right? It's something Yuri, I'd say, arguably has more, because again, her issue is that she can't break out of her shell, right? She doesn't put herself in that situation because she doesn't put herself in that situation like Natsuki, where she reacts to every little thing everyone says. Something where she does it because, again, she can't break out of that. So it's a different issue. I'm spending way too much time on this. I need to finish both these parts. Sorry, I didn't really mean to hurt you. Nah, sorry, it wasn't you. Natsuki shakes her up while putting a second chair over to her desk. I was talking about something else. I didn't mean to get all angry all of a sudden. Natsuki averts her gaze and mumbles. You're like, well, a nice person, so I wasn't talking to you. She was talking to other people through you. I still learned a valuable lesson, because it's Sayori was still learning this. She first learned it with Yuri, then Natsuki when she called the manga cute. Sayori speaks softly as well, feeling shy after receiving the unexpected compliment, because again, that's not normal from Natsuki. Anyway, here's the book, so just start whenever you feel like it. What about it? Well, it's like comedy, and there's romance, obviously. It's a romantic comedy. Damn, that's what the subject is, or topic is. Sayori satire is called Love is the Lennar word for luck. I don't see the connection. It's hey, look at it. Spells a lull with a L-A-W-L. It's about a girl who keeps accidentally writing to the same guys, and then you find out like guys plural. Damn. Well, you should just read it. It's like, but you have to tell me what you think. I'm gonna guess you're gonna ship who you're gonna ship yourself with. It'd be so funny if I'm right. So it's literally just like self-insert your own self. Ship, I don't get it. Like she's like, I don't speak loser. Like, never mind. Let's not worry about that yet. Just make sure you tell me what you think. It's kind of like what people do with this. Oh, I'll start then. Hey, maybe tomorrow we can do poetry too. I mean, yeah, that's kind of the hope. Well, is it the end of the week? I don't know. Oh, yeah, I guess. I mean, it's a tit for tat, right? It's a quid pro quo, mutually beneficial transaction, right? She spends time with you for a day. You spend time with her for a day, right? Doing what your respective activities. Don't you want to finish this first? Yeah, and you're just prolonging the inevitable. Yeah, but we could do both. I mean, unless you don't like poetry, they won't make you anything. But that's kind of the whole point of, like, that's the issue. That's the whole point of this activity, to get to branch out like your interests. No, it's just, well, never mind. We can worry about tomorrow. And again, it's probably the type of poetry that Natsuki writes, because she said she writes. So that's something to where it's like fucking, yeah, depending on what she writes, right? It's like clearly that could be kind of we know it's an extension of the manga, basically, right? And that's like that kind of fucking, like style. So that's something to where it's like, yeah, we know thereof is where like the issue lies. So yeah, damn. All right, back to this theme. After the club meeting ends with Natsuki and Yuri leaving, Manga strikes up conversation with Sayori. Presumably, she spent time with Yuri. I see you got Natsuki to share some of her manga with you. I really want to become better friends with her. She's so enthusiastic and expressive. I can just listen to her talk. I'm not sure if she meant to say that. I can't say that to her, or that I can't say it at all. Say what? Nothing. I'm a woman of respect. I am a female of decency. Natsuki is a woman of cute. Oh, all right. Oh, I said it. What's so bad about that? But again, it really does. I already went over that earlier. I'm not going to go over it again. I don't know. But there's one thing I'm kind of worried about. Sometimes I'm afraid that Natsuki actually doesn't like me very much. Now that's actually paranoid. But here's the thing. We know why Monica doesn't like that. Because again, she saw Natsuki's conversation with her quote unquote friends, right? She like witnessed that. So she would be able to put two and two together, right? Piece the puzzles together. So she would know why Natsuki wouldn't want to be called that. So Yuri wouldn't, because she didn't see that conversation. But again, that's something to where like fucking what's it called? Yeah, but anyway, this is like completely different. I have no idea why Sayori would think this. Like this is actual paranoia if she legit, because it'd be different if like Monica or Yuri thought this, but Sayori, I mean, it's like, come on. Like she was the one who was the only one who was able to bring Natsuki back to the club. So it's just more so this may be going off of the fear of Natsuki to like partake in Sayori's interest, but we know it's because of her specific style of writing poetry, which is why that is the case. That's ridiculous. How come you feel that way? Yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm like, that's paranoid. Just a little signs, like how she only says hi to me after I say hi to her first. That's completely normal. I don't ever really like say hi first. Like it's something where it's like, that's just like that's kind of like personality wise. Like this is legit paranoia. Feels like she only gets like talk to me. It's about manga and art stuff she likes, but that's also natural. People like talk about themselves and stuff they like. So that's something, again, that's just normal. Like she does that, probably does that to everyone. She seems dismissive a lot. She was like that when I brought poetry. But again, we know, but to be fair, this was what I brought up. Like this is probably why Sayori would but that's just something where if anything, you need to go with it more to try to get her to branch out her interests. Yeah, but that doesn't mean she doesn't like you. She's probably just shy, maybe. Because again, we know what the insecurity is covering up, right? The coping defense mechanisms. Ultimately, it's covering up that side of her. My stupid ass just making me worry for no reason. It likes to do that. And we saw that through the compliments she gave Sayori. It's okay, try not to worry so much. Everything will be great. You can always talk to me about any concerns that you have. I'm here to help. You're the best. Sayori gives Monica a quick hug. Well, I'm going to keep trying because I love her and I want to get close to her. You got this. Damn, cut the black. After next club meeting starts, Sayori's last one as usual. Trying to the room, she sees Natsuki sitting alone by a closet, reading what must be manga. Without hesitation, Sayori pulls up a chair and plops the shelf down right next to Natsuki. Hello there. Hi. What you reading? Can I read it with you? Nope. Well, damn, wait, why did she even, like, hold on, let's go back a second. Let's see. Reading what must be manga. What do you mean what must be manga? What else would it be? Like, that's literally all she reads. It's literally the only books that are inside the closet. Natsuki pulls the book away from Sayori. You can't just start in the middle. There are spoilers. Besides, what about the one I gave you yesterday? Sorry, I was just curious. Well, anyway, I've been waiting forever for a sign to come out. It just came out yesterday, so that's a sign. Well, I'll let you read then. Can I sit next to you, though? Sure. Sayori pops stuff down. Natsuki pulls out a blank sheet of paper. This is interesting. The blank sheet of paper from Yuri's fucking, what's it called? From Yuri's reading where she was taking notes. But again, it's interesting to see that Sayori does this. This is probably what motivated Natsuki to do that to the MC. When she told him to sit next to her in the original Act 1, if you end up going her route, that's probably what motivated her to do that, or where she got that from. Natsuki reads the sign, save for the periodic flutter of her page being released from beneath her thumb. Sayori said, only the light tapping noise of her pen meaning the paper can be heard. Okay, back in the closet. Sayori's paper filled with scribbles, and the margins are lined with stick figures. Natsuki lets out a deep sigh and closes her book. Did you finish? No, but it's a good stopping point. My head's swimming. I need a break. It's like, damn, break time. Natsuki stretched her arms. Are you bored? No, I was writing. Oh, I saw all the stick figures. Thought you were just bored. I just draw those when I'm thinking of waiting for inspiration. I made friends with them all. It's like, damn, those are the characters in Natsuki's book. This one is sad because she thinks the nice guy is pretty, but she can't look up at the stars in public without everyone thinking she's a weirdo. No one's gonna think you're weird. Like, especially like, because here's the thing. Coming from someone who lives in an area where, again, there's like light pollution and you can't actually see the stars. Like, whenever I can see the stars, like for me, it's literally like, oh, damn, that's pretty nice. Like, I'm gonna spend that time looking up, right? Like, I'm gonna spend that time like enjoying the view. Like, it's something where it's like, it'd be different if like, okay, if like, here's the thing. It'd be different if she was like, let's see, where would looking at be considered weird? I don't know. If she was looking at like fucking, I don't know, like let's say you're looking at like some conspicuous stores in like a shopping mall, right? That'd make you look weird. Like you're like, oh, I don't want to go in there. Like a fucking manga store, right? Like it's like shit like that. Okay, I understand, but like the Knights, like no one's gonna think that, right? Where do you live to where like this is actually like how judgmental people are? So his problems with his back, but the doctors can't figure out what's wrong with him. Okay, that's actually a legit thing because like sometimes like that is the unfortunate reality, right? Where like because again, this also delves in again. I'm more so sidetracking. This delves into the whole situation because I mentioned in Insurgents, right? That science is not the only basis for like decision making. And I brought up specifically like the two other examples, efficiency and morality. Science oftentimes clashes with those. So it's something where again, it's not like because that seems to be what the trend has been, at least in terms of the modern day, where it's just like, oh, science, right? Whatever science says goes or does, right? Whatever. But that's something where it's not necessarily the case, right? People, and then there's obviously the more common examples like fucking like religion or like even like freedom, personal like beliefs, right? Or I guess not, or like ideology, like those are the common ones. But the two more specific, like uncommon ones that I brought up were efficiency and morality, right? Like science is often in clear conflict with those. So but yeah, again, that's something to where it's like that's a whole different topic. But specifically with this, and again, also the whole point is that science is constantly evolving, right? So like again, 100 years from now, science will know more than now, right? So that's something to where like assuming that science knows everything now, right? And by extension, like doctors, stuff like that, right? Assuming that medicine, like or like any sort of like that sort of discipline is at its peak, right? Knows everything that can be is like very naive. But that's something to where like that can't just be a situation where it's legit like no one like and part of the issue may be again the diagnosis where it's known, but again, it's like not apparent or obvious, right? So that can be an issue there, a whole nother issue. But that's something where honestly, like that's something where it's like fucking yeah, at that point you're just kind of on your own. You just gotta do like what you can, like what you find is helpful. So like I think too many people are reliant on like let's say going to like automatic like I mentioned this automatically jumping to like step 10. Like I mentioned that in the previous one when it came to immediate in the part one when it came to immediately recommending COA for like therapy and like fucking counseling. Like obviously, and that was before Monica learned she was suicidal, but after that's something to where it's like, of course that makes sense and she did, but before that you wouldn't jump step 10. That's the case here, right? Like let's say if you're having issues with your back, okay, let's say maybe try like stretching out on your own. Maybe try some like I don't know, some like fucking like yeah, stretching would be the big one, eh? Like maybe some light exercise, maybe like some diets that help with that kind of stuff, right? Especially if it's after like an incident where you may have again injured your back, right? So like stuff like that still persists, right? Maybe go to like let's say if you have a good chiropractor, note the good key asterisks on the good because a bad one can like fuck you up even more. But if you have a good one, go there, like get a session in with that, right? Get a fucking yeah, get a session in with that, right? Have that. And then maybe after that, like right, then it's like okay, you can go in for like a checkup. And like after that, then it's like okay, they can recommend you to like a special like again, you don't want to immediately jump step 10 because part of that is if you go through the process that may shed some light or reveal something about again your injury. But that's something if you immediately just jump to step 10, right? Like again, there's like okay, we don't really have anything to go off of. What the heck? You're the weirdo. Want to read the poem I'm working on? It's like, yeah, I'm ignoring your comment. Sure, I guess. Sewer size piece of paper over Notsky. That's a perfect example. Rather than Sewer being like, how dare you call me weird? Stop that right now. She just like, and it wasn't even like completely ignoring in terms of like she was just sitting there silently, like waiting for you to like apologize. It was like she's just like, okay, here, want to read my poem? It's like, again, showing that you don't care. It's not curious to her poem. She furrows her eyebrows. She slides the paper back to Sayori. Don't you ever feel weird just sharing all of your thoughts and feelings like that? Because we know that's not what neither Natsuki or Yuri, well, actually, Yuri somewhat writes like that, or Monica, I guess, would be a better example. I mean, your poems are like really emotional. That's just what how Sayori does. Like, it's the contrast between her and Natsuki, like Monica, too. Like, Sayori just writes her thoughts and feelings out. Like, she doesn't care. Monica needs like the strict form, right? You know, that she's trying to break that habit of. And Yuri, like, again, kind of similar deal. Is it bad? Well, no, it's just an observation. I think we're looking at close to each other if they find ways of expressing their feelings. Well, Natsuki reasons protest, but she can't find a good way of putting her thoughts into words. That's not something you need to disagree with. Doesn't that depend more on the kind of friends you have? I mean, it depends who you're sharing with, but this is the fucking literature club. Jesus, I don't know. To each their own, but never anyone I feel comfortable sharing my poems with. Probably because again, you bait them into fucking like egging you on, right? Now that's you, it's just how I am. So you write poems? You never told me that. I just thought you wrote other stuff. Yeah, too. And again, we know that's why she was reluctant to share. You should. I mean, would you ever want to share? Like I said, I don't do that. But can we talk about something else? No, now I'm going to keep egging you on, right? I'm sorry. It's not your fault. It just makes you uncomfortable. I can't help it. Shit, I'm sorry. That's didn't say shit. That's still. It's fine. Let's move on to something that makes us both happy. I just continue the book you gave me since I didn't get very far yet. Sure. Damn, they're both reading now. I spent way too much time talking this part. Over the next few days, Sayori begins each coming by approaching Natsuki with unwavering enthusiasm. It's Natsuki. Natsuki. Oh, all right. Damn. Hi, Natsuki. Damn, Natsuki's getting more and more pissed. At the end of one clubbing, Maka, who's become rather invested in Sayori's friendship mission, starts an innocuous conversation with Natsuki while she packs up. School, you've been finding time to spend with Sayori. She was pretty excited for a chance to read manga with you. Yeah. I'm sure you've been enjoying the chance to share it too, right? Yeah, mostly. Natsuki glanced over her shoulder, but doesn't reply further. What's on your mind? And again, it's probably a similar deal with Natsuki. Sayori was paranoid that fucking, what's it called? Natsuki doesn't actually like her. Natsuki is probably the same deal where she's like, why the fuck is this person spending so much time with me? Right? Nothing. I don't talk about people behind their backs. Is that implying like again, this goes exactly to show that, right? It's like you really do bring it upon yourself. You really do bait people into egging you on, and then it's like, oh, why am I being bullied? It's like, oh, Natsuki falls silent. She fidgets instead of getting back to what she was doing, as though she wants to say more. It's okay to share feelings. They're different from talking about someone behind their back. I guess I just hate when people talk about me behind my back, so I'm better do it to other. Wait, what? Hold on, what the fuck? I'm Jesus. So I'm better than. Oh, all right. So thanks, I guess, but it doesn't feel like it. You can trust me. Nazi stands signs from home, but still fidgeting. I just feel smothered sometimes. I'm not used to someone being like all over me right after we meet. I mean, it's fun to hang out with her, but I just have no control over the pace. I can't just meet someone and instantly come back to friends with them and share everything about myself. That's not how it works. And again, there is truth in this. And again, that does go to see where it's like she even has that sense of idealism in terms of making everyone happy, and that she's trying to make Nazi happy. But again, it's the same thing, right? It's like you need to let it happen. You can't force it, like is what she's saying. Just want to chill out sometimes. Oh, I didn't realize that was happening. It's fine. Why would you have? I know. I just feel bad about it. I know Sayori, so I should have realized. Anka navigates through a tinge of guilt, which the surface may due to her being the one that previously encouraged Sayori's behavior. But again, this isn't a big deal. Like this isn't something to get worked up on, right? If anything, just encourage Natsuki to tell Sayori, right? Like basically exactly what she's telling you. But like this isn't, it's not like earlier where there was the whole fucking debate over, it's not like Yuri and Natsuki when they initially joined and there was the period where they were like, again, there was the whole like incidents, right? Regarding them leaving due to the said incidents, right? Yuri with the fucking reading and Natsuki with the fucking manga, right? Or Yuri with the fantasy, Natsuki with the manga, and then them ultimately coming back. It's not like that level. This is like a non-issue. It's not even an issue. It's literally just like this isn't that big of a deal. If anything, like Monk in this situation should be like, oh, I guess I should have seen that coming, right? And then like advise Natsuki to tell Sayori that. And then she can also talk to Sayori to try and like let her know, maybe you need to tone it down a bit, but in an unknown situation, Monica can't help but feel a little responsible. It's really not that big of a deal. Do you want me to talk to her about it? No, I wouldn't like that. Well, I don't know. I could divert her into an art club activity for you or something. This isn't that big of a deal. This isn't that big of a deal. No way. That would be so underhanded in me. Sorry, I didn't think that one through. This literally is like a non-issue. It's not that big of a deal. Just because I complain doesn't mean I'm asking for someone to solve my problems for me. True. I'm sorry. I guess I just instinctively want to try to solve problems, even if I haven't been invited to. It's something where normally you should encourage people to solve their own problems. So that'd be something where in this situation, be like, oh, you should probably talk to Sayori, right? And then let's say Natsuki doesn't, and then Sayori continues, and then she feels uncomfortable. Okay, maybe that's when you step in, right? You need to enable people to solve their own problems before you step in as like a leader to try and do that yourself, right? Because again, if you tried to solve everyone's problems, you'd be like, what would you call it? Drawn thin or like strung thin, right? Like that's something where again, you can't do that. That's idealistic. It's fine. I'll talk to Sayori about it, but it would make things really weird between us. feel like it would make her just constantly be afraid she's bothering me. But again, that's something to where, like, again, that's partially on Sayori for, again, being like kind of idealistic in that sense, in terms of like trying to make everyone happy. Like, again, oh, I'll just spend time with Natsuki and it'll make her happy. That's not exactly how that works. I don't know how to keep things natural. Well, if you do get expressing all your feelings, you would totally understand. Sayori really wants to be the best she can be for our people. I think she would actually be happy that you want to improve your friendship with her. Maybe. It just feels so dumb talking to someone about how to be friends with them. It's just weird and not cool. Monica shrugs. It's the literature club. And she almost threw her stifled laugh. It's not the cool club. Yeah, it's the losers club. Hey, sorry, that just ticked me for some reason. Tickled. Look, I know you're in a kind of a tough spot. That's hard for you to really express yourself. But you really demonstrated to me that you're great at self-reflection and critical thinking, even if it doesn't feel like it to you. I think that's the most important part of being able to navigate through these things. So I believe you'll find the right thing to do. Well, Natsuki instinctively starts to reject the compliment, but you can't find any excuse to do so. Again, no need to reject that, right? Like this, that's not something you need to disagree with. It's not even like an insult. Natsuki has her things. Then she finishes the thought and mumble. I'm so glad I joined the club, even if it's weird sometimes. Monica smiles, but turns it back and walks away before waiting for a reply. It's an unusual way for Natsuki to express her appreciation, but Annika knew what she meant. Again, right? Because that's part of that. Like, it's the in Natsuki's herself breaking through, again, the facade. They Monica feel like everything is really going to be okay. Does that imply that it's not, or that it does? Okay, we're back here. We got more mail. Who the fuck is sending mail? I don't care about your leave. We don't have any more pictures though. Staying focused on our goals. Bitch, no one fucking cares. Like, literally, look at the rest of these emails, right? Like, these are not staying focused on your goals. All right. As a reminder, to help guide our data collection and any analysis should be focused on answering some of these main questions. How's granting elevated access to the VM affect a person's social state? How's granting access, elevate access to the VM? Oh, VM, honestly, I think I figured out it could mean virtual machine, because I'm pretty sure, what's it called? Because I was trying to figure this out, right? I'm pretty sure I said VM would stand for virtual, but maybe virtual machine. Because I think that was what like the original gaming consoles were called, right? But yeah, because like I was thinking like VM's obviously visual novel, and I think I even touched on this earlier. Like VM, I think I said V would either be visual or virtual, but virtual machine seems like a good because it's not the control group, right? The virtual machine, like that may be what they're using to give the elevate stats. Like here, how does someone effectively navigate and experiment with their ability to change contents of their virtual machine? I'll call it that from now because that's what I assume it is. How's elevated access being weaponized? Damn, that's a good question. What actions and values most contribute to the destruction of the universe? Bitch, I don't know. Fucking actions and values that contribute to this. Most like the action answers itself. Most importantly, how might your observations apply to our universe, our own universe? Good question. How can we present this to upper management as an operation that benefits the company? I don't really know. Whoever changed the color scheme of the desktop to pink, can you please change it back? It's unprofessional and runs the risk of drawing the eyes. Was this not pink? Because that's what this is talking about. Was this not always pink? Bitch, I can change it back. Hold on, let me do that. All I need to do is just do it. It changes with the wallpaper, right? Was it? Come on, is this in settings? Oh, it's 76. Damn, we're getting close. But yeah, that's something. I guess VM probably does stand for virtual machine. I guess that makes sense, I think. But yeah, literally, I love how this email, because again, it goes back in terms of days. So again, this email is staying focused on our goals. And then these, like this one says, don't tell Paula. Again, but it's the same untitled mail group. So presumably they're in literally like the same fucking group, right? Like, I love how this email is staying focused on goals. And then you look at the rest of these emails. Like, it's honestly kind of funny. It really is. Also, what positions are these people, right? So Paula is project manager. I've last I know is senior engineer. Who's a lib? Oh, just random engineer. Rhea is system administrator. So how the hell is the system administrator not even know they're like, she's literally just not doing her job. This dude's on leave right now. This person, this is the only smart one because this isn't even within, like, this should be fucking being dealt with by Ree, who's the system administrator. Like, him catching on the characters come see, that's actually good on him. And then I've, again, like, just no one cares about your fucking OMG, like, random email in like an email thread group. And then this person, like, again, the fucking project manager. Like it seems like they're trying to like get everyone to like honestly, they seem to be the driving force. Because were they the ones who did like the files in terms of fucking what's it called? Internal note. Yeah, it's Paula. So do not use it to store sensitive permanent things. If you need access files, share, raise working on proxy mail server. So, and then again, yeah, keep it. So that means people were storing crap in here though. That's where we saw the one file in 0. So, and then me notes 1. Yeah, that's why we saw the one file in 0, because people were storing crap in here. And then again, they developed the mail system. I guess, I don't know, Shay, are we an employee here? Who are we? Why do we have access to this? Good question. Well, we bought it, but let's do a balance part 2 again. Just interesting to think about. What's the custom CG we're going to get? It's lunchtime. Damn, I'm hungry. Sayori usually buys her lunch, making her way to the cafeteria like any other day. A clamor and bustle of students is drowned by Sayori's impeccable skills of zoning out. However, her imagination is momentarily interrupted by the glimpse of a familiar pink-haired girl. Hey, that's Natsuki. I never run to run with the other club members around the school. And again, we know Monica did the same thing during lunch. However, it was when Natsuki was with her friends. So is Sayori going to see the same thing here? And then again, that would actually be interesting because we know Monica, she caught Natsuki's gaze, right? Like they, again, made eye contact and she made the decision to not interfere. But I can see that being something to where Sayori would entirely interfere, like trying to make it better, but ultimately make it worse. Natsuki, oh my God, Sayori stands on her tiptoes and waves. This is like the worst fucking decision you can make. Like, again, especially if she's with her friends, because that's something where, again, like, and this goes to the idealistic nature of Sayori, because here's the thing, right? Because we know, again, Monica, when she saw Natsuki, again, she saw her with her friends and she met Natsuki's gaze, right? They made eye contact and she knew from that point on to leave and let her handle it. But that's something that Sayori, we know she wouldn't do that, right? She would, again, what she's doing right now, presumably if Natsuki is with her quote unquote friends, since it's still during lunchtime. But again, that goes to her idealistic nature of as soon as she can make everyone happy, especially when you've got Natsuki's dealing with like her quote unquote friends. Natsuki is busy walking and chatting with her friends, doesn't know Sayori first. And again, her friends, so she is. And she glances over in Sayori's direction. Sayori waves enthusiastically. It's like following her friends. Natsuki quickly ducks around the corner. Again, Sayori needs to kind of realize this, that she doesn't want to be seen right now. Hey, she definitely saw me. Yeah, but again, that's kind of Sayori's her own idealistic nature. Monica's first arrived at the club meeting, then Natsuki. It's better this than if she were to like confront Natsuki with her friends, and then her friends start to like pick on Sayori, right? Quote unquote friends. Sayori, having glanced through the window, see if Natsuki's are inside, is unable to work up the courage to enter. This isn't that big of a deal, right? Like this isn't that big of a deal, like because this is normal. If you're like, let's say if you have multiple groups of friends, if you're with one group, right, you wouldn't really want someone from another group kind of like intruding on your conversation, right? Even assuming that's a healthy group of friends, as opposed to Nashi's situation, which is unhealthy. Nashi's been so distant with me. I was stupid to think she ever wanted to be friends. You're being retarded. Like, actually, she only got excited because she wanted to share manga. Like, this is being like paranoid. Aside from that, she doesn't even like me. Like, and again, this is what, now this would be a situation to where, like, if Sayori brought this up to Monica, where Monica would, again, want to step in and be like again, Natsuki, like, it's going to take some time. Like, she doesn't immediately want to, like, know everything about you, right? Which is normal. She'll just go home today. Sorry, but do you plan going inside? No. Why? I'm sulking. Oh, all right. Good to know. Good to know. All right. Well, I'm sorry for bothering you. Excuse me. No, don't leave me. Oh, I'll stay here then. It's like, Yuri's a good listener, right? She needs to listen for Sayori. I don't want to go in. I'm afraid of bothering Natsuki. I saw her lunch today, so I've been called out. But instead of saying hi, she just ran away from me. Really? Not bad. Hey, it's like, because again, but we know that's literally what fucking happened when they recruited Yuri into the club. Sorry, I'm sorry. That was a joke. It just sounded something stupid that I would do from anxiety. From anxiety? Well, I just don't like attention being drawn to myself. Oh. Well, that makes sense based on the person you're. Damn, like, is that a fucking insult? Natsuki's in shy like that all. But again, she probably has her reasons, though. And you need to assume that. Like, even if you do that, right? Like, if you're in Sayori's position, you wouldn't assume, like, oh, they hate me. You assume, oh, they probably have their reasons, or, oh, they had somewhere to go to, right? If anything, bring it up later in the club and be like, oh, I saw you earlier today. Or like, you don't even need to say, oh, why didn't you way back? Why didn't you say? Just be like, oh, I saw you at lunch today, you know. At fucking, I didn't know you had lunch in this period. And then they'll probably be like, oh yeah, I was hanging out with my other friends who aren't exactly the nicest of people. So I thought we were friends. But it feels like every day she's just trying to distance herself more. Just have get closer. Makes me feel like she's only spending time with me during the club because I was reading manga. She doesn't actually want to be friends with me. To be fair, Sayori put herself in that position. She was the one who like offered to read manga with her. It wasn't like Natsuki was like drawing Sayori in to read manga. Like Sayori put herself in that position. Well, I feel like I'm missing a lot of context here. Was she in the middle of anything when you approached her? No, she was just walking with her friends. Yuri paused for a moment. How do I put this? Sayori, you're very fond of your friends, right? You always want to be spending some time with them. Of course, I don't think there's anything more important to me. I mean, the best parts of my day are always with my friends. Besides that, I really hate being alone. So, you hate being alone? Sayori nods. We're very different people. I cherish my time alone. I wouldn't trade it for anything. It's like loner. So I think, well, if I was trying to have alone time and I was being threatened with an interruption, then I would just not, it would not make me very happy. Yeah, but that doesn't have to do with Nazi. But again, obviously different reasons, but still, she's already with her friends, not trying to be alone or anything. But again, different groups of friends, right? No, I think it's similar. It's well, we're all friends in the club, but we have our own lives outside the club as well. So Yuri hit this nail on, or fucking Yuri hit this nail on the head. This is a situation where Yuri's really smart. Like she's not good when it comes to actual social interaction, but when it comes to like analyzing that crap, right? She's actually like kind of decent. Like she hits the nail right on the head here. Like Natsuki is dealing with her own personal group of friends outside the club. So that's something to where it's like, yeah, that's something to where it's like, yeah, that could be something we're getting with. You have multiple friend groups and even assuming like healthy friend groups, right? As opposed to Nazis, which is unhealthy. Like you still wouldn't want like someone to like completely interrupt your conversation, right? With your another one of your friend groups. If you think about it, making new friends isn't some casual occurrence that happens on a daily basis. Friendship is an invitation to intertwine your lives together. But the capacity at which each person is ready to do that might be different. There are friends who just like to have fun together, and others who talk every day and share every detail of their lives with each other. I think when establishing a friendship, it's important to consider the comfort level of the other person. And this also gets into what Natsuki was talking to Monica about. So, but even without that, Yuri still hit the nail right on the head in terms of both of those aspects. So, I mean, we don't really know much about Natsuki's life outside the club. It could be that she simply needs to make friends at her own pace rather than jump headfirst into a new commitment. But that means I was really bothering her. I really was. I wouldn't say bothering, but it was more so like, because that makes it seem as though it's a big deal. It's more so just, if anything, like at most an inconvenience, right? Not like full on bothering. But that's something to where, again, it's just something to where, right? That's just something to where, again, it's like you're making it out to be a bigger deal than it is. Like, if anything, again, what you do is you go into club. Like, maybe don't read manga with Natsuki. Just, like, strike up a conversation. Be like, oh, I saw you at lunch today. And again, you don't even need to say, like, you know, oh, why did you run away from me? Why didn't you wait back, right? You'd be like, oh, I saw you at lunch today. I didn't know you had lunch during this time. Or I didn't know you go to here to eat lunch. Like, and then they'll be like, oh, yeah, I usually go there. Yeah. And if they want to say, they'll be like, oh, yeah, sorry, I didn't. I actually saw you, but yeah, so I didn't go with you. I was hanging out with my art friends, right? I just really wanted to be good friends with her, so I treated her like one. But again, people have different, like, it's got to be mutual. Was I actually hurting her? And again, this goes back, because here's the thing. Like, it's also kind of a, like, it's not like ethno or humanocentric, right? Whatever you call those, or that's anthropocentric, right? Where it's like humanic or like ethnicity, race centric. That, like, this would be like a more so from your own individual like perspective, like from your perspective, but ultimately your perspective is limited. Like, to assume your perspective is how it actually is very naive. Like, that's something where you need to realize, like, okay, maybe she has her reasons, right? Maybe she just doesn't want this, right? Like, and that doesn't even like, or maybe it's like something where she views it as different, right? To where maybe she's trying to be more distant. Maybe she doesn't want that kind of friendship. I don't know. I'm sorry. My insight was only based on what I understand about my own needs. But Yuri really did hit the nail on the head here. Natsuki and I are completely different. So why was I so selfish? Even if all that's true, then it means I still hurt her. I think I messed up. Yuri, with you, I think I was really careful to understand your needs while I was becoming friends with you. I wasn't careful at all with Natsuki because she already seemed really social. I just took control of everything instead of looking for the right balance. Now I hurt her and she doesn't want to talk to me. How could I let myself do this, Sayori? I think that, again, now that's being paranoid. Well, there was one time you told me something about the way I saw things in my head being different from reality. And it's the same here, right? It's easy to automatically jump to a worst case scenario, but I think it's more likely that Natsuki doesn't harbor any ill feelings towards you. So I think if we were realistic to consider a situation, how it would cause someone to feel, I'm bad at this, I'm sorry. You're a lot better than me at things like comforting and reassuring people. Suddenly Siri gives Yuri a gentle hug. You're the best, Yuri. Sorry for burdening you with this. You're trying so hard for me. You're such a sweetheart. It's not a burden. I enjoy listening to ours. And again, we know this. She did the same with Monica. My friends deserve happiness. Sayori beams. With him, I'm gonna give Natsuki some space. She should do what she wants. If she does still want to be friends, then I'll learn from her needs and I'll match her boundaries. Yeah, I'm sure that's what's best. Wish I didn't feel so awful and guilty. It makes you feel desperate, like I need to make up to her by trying to make her happy. And again, but it's a cycle, right? It's spiral. That's not what she needs. I just have to tell myself that. Hurts, but I guess it means I'll still need to grow. I really want to grow as a person. Even if it's better for my friends, I want that. That's very mature of you, Sayori. I'm mature. Sayori hops up and down her toes. So does that mean you'll be going home after all? Sayori shakes her head. I need to be here to show her that I respect her space. I'll spend the club by myself today. Yuri nods in understanding. You can go in first. Okay. Or spend it with either Yuri or Maka. You're blocking the door. Oh. Sayori steps aside. By the way, before Yuri's club, Sayori injects. You said that you and Natsuki are completely different, but I don't really think that's true. And again, this is because, and we see this again during New Eyes and fucking even at that end portion of True Out. They're really not that different. Like personality wise, obviously, yes, they're very different. But when you dig past that, that's like surface level. When you dig past that again, you see that they're very similar in terms of, like if we say they both bring it upon themselves, right? Or not, Yuri doesn't, but they're both in similar situations again, to where their main issue is again coming from others, right? Like in terms of like others judging them, right? Like I guess that's their big issue. Yuri, again, she can't force herself to try to not be, again, she can't really force herself to engage in social situations versus Natsuki, who's the opposite, where she really brings it upon herself. But again, that's something where they're both suffering from that, or they're both, what would you call it, like experiencing that. So you're actually really similar in a lot of ways. Yuri smiles, shakes her head. Sayori, that's absurd. You're very silly sometimes. Yuri turns and enters the club room. After a moment, Sayori follows. But again, I think Yuri knows, even or she probably knows that there's some truth to that. So, okay, you're kind of black. We're in the club. The club room's quiet. When Sayori walks in, Natsuki glances in her direction. Sayori smiles and gives Natsuki a quick wave before sitting down across the room. Yuri's face sorry buried in books. Sayori decides best going to continue to the manga she's reading, so she pulls out. However, it looks like Natsuki isn't reading today. She has a sheet of paper in front of her, stabbing to get pen against her desk, staring at that. Maybe, because again, we know they're probably both each feeling, guilty. Like they each feel like it's on them. So that's something to where Natsuki probably feels similar too. Right. So that's why, again, she's trying to get into what's it called poetry for Sayori, since she feels like, I don't know, maybe she's been burdening Sayori with the manga. And again, we even saw her conversation with Monica about like how Sayori is being kind of like overbearing here. So that's something where, but she may feel as though she kind of brought that upon herself, which she normally does. But again, that's something to where it's like they're both blaming themselves in this situation. So they're probably both trying to, again, like make up for it, I guess is a way to put it. So see. Oh, are we writing today? Monica speaks in a quiet voice. I'm willing to start with a piece of clever. She kneels down at Natsuki's desk. Hey, Natsuki pulls she closer and covers it with her arms. Sorry, I didn't mean to peek. Whatever. I just want to see how everything is going. It's fine. Natsuki replies submissively. She glances over at Sayori, focused on manga. Monica follows Natsuki's gaze. I think she's mad at me. How come? I'm busy right now. Ask me later. Damn, that's crazy. Monica falls silent. Natsuki goes back down on her paper. She inches her hand away from the top margin, letting Monica see. It says, to Sayori. Understand. Monica smiles as she places a hand on Natsuki's shoulders and whispers softly. I'm proud of you. And again, this is something to where it's like this kind of goes to show, like, again, I know I clown on Natsuki, right? But she's, like I said, arguably, she's one of the smartest ones. This is something where she recognizes that, right? To where, like, she saw Sayori earlier. So she already knew, like, fuck, now Sayori's probably going to blame herself on top of me being very dismissive, like her talking to Monica about that. So she already knows, like, okay, I need to do something, right? Like proactively. And then again, Sayori, we know she's doing something because she was on the other end of that, right? See, Natsuki looks away and makes no motion to move Monica's hand. Monica gives Natsuki short a quick squeeze before standing back up and pulling away. And now she goes, presumably she would go to Sayori for that. You have the club meeting passes. Like if I'm Monica, I go to Sayori and be like, hey, what's up? What's going on? Like try to gauge more from her end, right? Yuri's already departed. So has Monica. After checking on Sayori and Natsuki, ensure they won't stay too late. Sayori's determined to finish her manga volume before heading out, since the end was approaching. However, with Natsuki also staying late for an unknown reason, silent tension hangs in the air. We know why Natsuki's staying late, because she wants to give that to Sayori. Finishing the volume, Sayori brings it to the closet to put away. She slides it back on the shelf while Natsuki watches. Natsuki gets up and pulls it back out in order to return to its proper location. Sorry, I didn't know where it was supposed to go. It's fine. Two fall silent again, avoiding eye contact. They both look like they're about to say something, but neither can break the silence. A moment passes. Well, I'll be on my way. See you tomorrow. Sayori turns away to hide her pained expression, then walks away from the closet. There's any proof Natsuki no longer want to be friends. This was it. And again, this is something where they're both afraid to, because they both want to apologize, right? It's the exact same scenario. The exact same scenario. They're both are feeling guilty. They both blame themselves. They both want to apologize, but neither actually can, right? Like Natsuki has presumably a whole ass note. And then again, we know Sayori fucking she purposely spent the day away from Natsuki as a result, right? So defeated, Sayori carries herself out of the club room. Like neither of them want to be the first to like initiate, be proactive. Once in the hallway, Sayori takes a deep breath and lifts her palms together against her cheeks, clear her head low. Suddenly Natsuki's staring voice calls from behind. Natsuki? Startled, Sayori turns back around to face Natsuki. Bam, damn, we are getting the CG right now? What the fuck? Hold on. Okay, and then here's them. And there's the fucking note. What's on the wall? Bitch, we got a wing, we got a calendar, we got a monthly calendar. Why is it at this angle? We got a kanji. I can't fucking read that shit. We got Morse code in the fucking back. Natsuki fidgets and anxiously continues with a shaking voice. I have a lot of things to say. Me too. But you go first. Natsuki bites lip but can't stay still. Well, first of all, she cuts stuffed sword, struggling to continue. Trying to force words out, she stamps her foot and hops up and down a little. Sorry for the thing I did at lunch. I'm sorry for just being kind of mean lately. It's really hard for me to like, I mean, I'm not good with things that make me uncomfortable, especially when it comes to like feelings and stuff. And we know Yuri, again, Yuri's like kind of the same way. Sayori was right in terms of Yuri and Natsuki being similar, at least with this regard. Face brain, Natsuki clams up again. Zev continues. She simply holds up a sheet of paper for Sayori to take. The best place in the world. I love my bedroom. It's full of bright colors, soft things. The sunlight shines and it makes everything sparkle. It's the best place in the world. It has all my treasures, all my books, my collections, my memories. All my dreams were born in this room. It's the best place in the world. And it says, where is it? It doesn't say to Sayori here. It has all my secrets, all my failures, my fears, my feelings. Sometimes it feels so fragile that the door will break its last touch, but still the best place in the world. When someone knocks, I get scared. I raise my arms against loose hinges. Please don't break. Don't come in. I'm not right. It's my best place in the world. Knocking won't stop. I block the door with furniture. An eye peeks through a keyhole in a panic. Trapped in the best place in the world. I'm not ready to share my favorite place. I need to clean my secrets and make my bed to hide my nightmares. I need to touch them and put them away. See them again. I have so much to do and I'm scared. I'm not right. Still my favorite place. I still want to share. However long it takes. If you wait patiently, I'll eventually open the door. And again, like she just needs fucking time. It's a poem. But I thought, well, I sucked it up so that I could word things out with you. Again, she tried to write the poem. So just be happy about it, please. Sayori smells deeply from the bottom. What the fuck? Like her heart just starts fucking making its way out. Like I'm happier than I could express. Feels so awful, but I'm so happy that you would do this for me. I actually realized before the club meeting today that I made a mistake. I got so caught up in the chance to get close to you. I forgot to think about what you want. Again, right? Different perspectives. And we probably have different ways we like to make friends. But like the friendship stuff, I mean, it's okay. I understand. So you don't have to force yourself to talk about it. Your poem did a good job. So don't force yourself. You're not ready yet, okay? Let's get honest. You don't have to feel like you did anything wrong. It was my fault. I'm sorry. I wasn't mad at you today or anything. I actually felt really guilty and wanted to give you space. I was thinking that it's silly. It's that I just approach you all the time. That I should just let you approach me when you want to. Just whatever makes you comfortable. I'll respect that from now on. Friendship should always start with those things. With the right balance. Natsuki nods again. On one thing. Wait, what? Am I blind? One thing about that. And then Natsuki saying that, well, I don't want to have to approach you all the time either. I just want it to be balanced, like you said. Sayori nods. I understand. We'll make sure of that together then. Damn, we already ended? Okay, we're back here. Well, anyway, now that the two of them have found common ground, Natsuki finds it easier to speak more freely again. I'm not going to be like sharing my poems all the time now or anything like that. Because again, we know, again, it's her own writing. So, but I guess I want her to do it once in a while. Only the best ones. So you better like them. Because otherwise I might change my mind. I like anything you do, Natsuki. Okay, I was just saying. More importantly, I have to tell you about my new... It's like, okay, she's fronting here. She's fronting here. Because here's the thing. She's definitely joking here, right? Like, there's no way. Because if she was serious, it would have to be the fucking MC, right? That's the thing. So she has to be joking here just to fucking, what's it called? Get a ruse out of Natsuki. Get a reaction out of Natsuki, right? Huh? Oh, from the... It literally is one of those fucking things, right? I need to guess who it is. It's literally just gonna be some random person. It's like, oh, we need to fucking just fucking whoever from the manga, right? You definitely won't be able to guess. To walk down the hallway together. Oh my god, we have so much to talk about. Darn, I should have told you to save the last two chapters so I could see your reaction to the big reveal. You want to enjoy it with me? That's so cute. Shush. The heck. Damn, we still never learned. Okay, I guess it's time. Damn, we got a new picture. Oh, we got this. And again, so we actually only have one more Jesus Christ. So we only have one more wallpaper, right? We got another poem So we only have what? Wow, those were actually the last two poems. Wait, what? Oh, all right, all right, all right, all right. Special events in the past. So actually, yeah. So we actually have all, wow. So we have all but one of the wallpapers, all the poems. We got one more CG, right? We don't have the secrets, right? We still need one more background. I want to get all the sketches. That's all I really care about. I don't know how we're going to get the promo crap, but I guess, yeah, I mean, I don't really think I have anything else to say. That's all for this part. We got the one male staying focused on our goals. Yeah, that's not really happening with your team, Paul. I hate to say it, but they're kind of like off topic, right? They're just sitting there collecting money. They're collecting their paycheck, not really contributing anything. But the only person who's done good is the engineer, like catching on to this, because that's literally not within their fucking field. So that's good on them, right? Good on them. That should be fucking Mr. fucking like system administrator with the fucking side stories. Like they should have been the one to catch on to that. But and right, that's getting off topic. I don't have anything else to say really. Yeah, the next, it's interesting. So it was a continuation like of the chronological like timeline aspect of the side stories. And it seems like I can assume that because of that, these next ones, right, are probably going to be similar. And again, though, I can't wait for the fucking Natsuki Yuri one. That's going to be interesting. That's definitely going to be interesting. So yeah, but that's all for this one. So yep, there's that. Guess that's it for this one. See you in the next one.